In this video, we're going to go ahead and continue to dig in deeper into the find command in the FileMaker platform. Keep in mind that everything we're doing here works just as well with FileMaker Go as well as FileMaker Web Direct. So the fact that I'm demoing this in FileMaker Pro is not really a concern. Don't let it throw you off. It works the same in the other FileMaker clients. So let's talk about doing range searches in FileMaker. And the most useful area for this is the date range. Now to do this, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to invoices and then go to list view where I have a list of dates here on some of the invoices. This is all sample data. So let's go ahead and play with this a little bit. First off, the most common thing that people come up with, especially when working with invoices, is that they're looking for invoices that span a certain month or maybe a certain quarter or a certain year. Say, for example, I need to have totals, maybe tax information for the quarter, sales information for the quarter, all those kinds of things. That's where date ranges come in really handy. So first off, I'm going to be doing all this with keyboard shortcuts. By this time, you should be familiar with Command or Control F, Command R, which allows us to regenerate a previous find command, right? And also, in case I haven't mentioned it before, the Show All Records command, which is Command or Control J. And this allows us to restore our current found set back to all the records in the table. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Command F and start off searching the invoice date right here. Let's start with greater than an older date, say 1/1/2014. So this is 2018 and we're doing some historical searching. That's totally cool. I'm going to go ahead and press the return key. So that's the greater than symbol, right? For those of you who have a math background, you understand greater than and less than symbols, things like that. Now keep in mind that the greater than symbol does not include the actual date itself. There is also a symbol that you can use which is greater than or equal to the date that you specify. So you can activate that by holding down the Option key, at least on the Mac, while pressing the same key on the keyboard. The greater than or equal symbol has a flat line underneath it. Now this search right here will actually include the date 1/1/2014. The previous search we did would have found records that were greater than 1/1/2014. So they would have actually started on 1/2/2014. So keep that in mind. It's a subtlety, but if you happen to be missing some records, maybe that's where you're off. Now there's another way of representing this. In fact, FileMaker just converted it right here for us. If you're on a computer and you don't know how to generate the greater than or equal to symbol, you can also just do the greater than symbol and then also put the equal sign next to it, right? And so that's kind of the equivalent if you don't know what the Option key is or the Alt key or whatever it is on Windows to generate that for you. That's an equivalent of greater than or equal to. It's another one of those little nuggets that you can lock into your memory banks for use in a future date. So now, of course, we also have the less than or equal to, right? So those are handy as well. Now, the date range feature I use the most are between two specific dates. In fact, personally, this is my most favorite search function in FileMaker. It's the most handy because whenever I'm doing my work, I always know the beginning date I'm looking for and the ending date. Let's say, for example, I want to know everything that happened between, say, another historical date, July 1, 2013, and the end of that year. So what you would do is put 3 dots, ... or periods, and then put 12/31/2013. So that's the last half of the year 2013. And that allows us to get that historical sales information. That is super handy. This range function is fantastic. Like I said, we use it all the time, and it's one of the most important things you can learn in the FileMaker platform because you can always specify a week or a random range or a year, right? And of course, there's other little shortcuts and things you can do to find a month or a year. But this one tool, if you just remember the beginning date to the end date with the 3 dots in between, is the ultimate tool for you. Now, that being said, it also works on text fields. So check this out. Let's say, for example, we were in a text field and we were looking up certain group of names. Maybe we're going through the mailing list and we want to start with everyone whose last name, maybe is A through M or maybe M through Z. I could do a find and I could say, show me everyone M through Z. We do it the same way. You basically are going to type the M, 3 dots, and the Z in find mode, and FileMaker is smart enough to see that that is a range. So the range function works great in date fields, it works in text fields, and of course, if you have a calculation field, it will work in those as well. Date, text, time fields, they all work.